Welcome. I'm Terry Tropin, and today I'm going to be talking about ICD-10-PCS procedures for detachment on hands and fingers and feet and toes. Let me introduce myself. I have a master's in healthcare administration informatics from the University of Maryland Global Campus, and I have RHIA and CCSP certifications. I'm also an AHEMA approved trainer in ICD-10-CM and PCS coding. I have written these books, which came out of study guides I developed for my students. I have a book on evaluation and management coding, one on ICD-10-CM coding, ICD-10-PCS coding, and beginning just this year, I started doing a book on the changes made on ICD-10-CM and ICD-10-PCS coding made for this year. I will update these this year for 2025 as soon as I get the information. The books are available on Amazon and updated every year or as needed. As you know, they sometimes make changes in the middle of the year, and so I do try to update those. Okay, so what am I going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to talk first about why would a physician do detachment procedures. And then I'm going to talk about the medical and surgical section, root operation detachment in ICD-10-PCS. And then the term used in most of these procedures, rays. What is a ray? Then I talk about detachment in the upper extremities, detachments in lower extremities, and finally notes to make in your book. And this probably is the most important thing that you need to hear. Okay, so why do they do detachments? Well, usually because of extensive tissue destruction, infection, or disease that make it impossible to repair the tissue or endanger a person's life. So it could be traumatic injury like a crushing injury, could be peripheral vascular disease, could be nerve damage to toes due to diabetes. You often hear about people losing toes or even a whole foot because of diabetes. Could be gangrene or could be frostbite. You can see in this picture that this patient has severe frostbite and turning the toes and some of the feet black. So, root operation detachment. Detachment is defined in your PCS book as cutting off all or a portion of the upper or lower extremities. It's used only with amputation procedures performed on extremities. That's because it includes overlapping body layers, bone, muscle, skin, etc. It can't just go into the bone section or the muscle section or the skin section because it includes all of it. So therefore, detachment procedures are found only in these body systems. X, anatomical regions, upper extremities, and Y, anatomical regions, lower extremities or joints. So these areas use the term rays. The body part values used for hands and feet use the term rays. These are groups of bones reaching from the hands into fingers. You can see here, here's the hand, and it goes into the finger. So it's groups of bones stacked on one another from the hands into the fingers, and then from the feet into the toes. Again, groups of bones. There we go. So these are used a lot in these. Okay, so detachment upper extremities is table 0x6. Upper extremities, hands and fingers, are also included in this table are forequarter, shoulder, elbows, upper arm, and lower arm. So we're really going to talk about hands and fingers in this presentation. So 0x6. So you'll notice that for this medical and surgical section, always anatomical region, upper extremities, all detachment, all approach, all device. So the only thing that's going to vary is the body part and the qualifiers. Everything else is going to be the same. So you only have two values that you need to look at to select. So the body part values, actually, we're going to talk about hand first. The body part values for hand Well, right hand or left hand? Well, that's pretty simple. So the only one that's kind of tricky is the qualifier values. So here we get back to those rays I discussed a minute ago. So the rays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the rays you start counting with the thumb. Thumb is 1, pinky is 5. Pinky hand side is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So start with the thumb counting as 1 and count over until you get to 5. So first ray starts in the hand and goes towards the thumb. So complete or partial is the other thing that it talks about. Complete through the metacarpal joint, that's here, right? That's complete, so that's pretty much all of the hand, right? So partial is anywhere like the shaft or head of the metacarpal bone, so anywhere along in here. So that's part of the hand, not all of the hand, but part of the hand. So that gives you complete or partial. So you're only talking about counting the complete or partial of the ray, not complete or partial of the whole hand. So be careful, we're talking about the bone, not the whole hand. Okay, so let's talk about fingers. This is a little bit more straightforward. The body part values, thumb, index fingers, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. So that's, we know those terms. It's just right or left. So the body part value is pretty straightforward. It's the qualifier values, again, that are a little trickier. So for fingers, you have, let's start with low is distal. Furthest away, that's the tip, right? And then you have the mid along the middle here, and then high, the whole finger, okay? So these are, the phalanxes are here in blue, so you have low, high, mid, low. So this is the only one that's tricky, but it's actually kind of self-evident, right? High is the furthest away, the tip. So let's look at an example. Amputation of the hand through the carpal metacarpal joint of the fifth ray, left hand. 0x6k0z8. So these we know already. These we know already. So left hand, okay. Left hand, fifth ray. This is complete because it's through the carpal metacarpal joint. Amputation of distal interphalangeal of right ring finger, 0x6s0x0z3 rather. Okay, so these we know for sure. We know it's open. We know it's no device. So ring finger, right, and low. This is low because it's through the distal interphalangeal joint. So the tip of the right finger is amputated. Okay, so let's look at lower extremities. This should be lower. That's what happens when you copy paste, right? So again, this is the same body system. Y for all of these. Detachment always, open always, device, no device. So what varies is the body part value and the qualifier value. So you only have two values to worry about. So we're talking about lower extremities now. So lower extremities, we're looking at foot and toes. Also in this table are hindquarters, femoral region, knees, upper leg, lower leg. But we're not talking about those. We're only talking about feet and toes at this point. Okay, so body part values, right foot, left foot. Talking about foot first. Right foot, left foot. Pretty basic. That should be obvious. Okay, so then we're going to talk about those rays again. So for the rays, we start at 1 is the big toe. 5 is the pinky toe. So just count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way. Okay. So complete is through the metatarsal phalangeal. Complete, that's like right there. Okay. Partial along the shaft or head of the, it's here. So anywhere along one of those. And again, we're talking about kind of the raise, not the foot, just the raise. Okay, so it's either complete or partial. And then the raise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's talk about the toes. Again, here are the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is the big toe. 5 is the pinky toe. And you have complete, high, mid, or low. So low is the distal. Here, mid is middle, right? Low is here's the distal, here's the mid, here's the low. So all of the toe, right? So complete is metatarsal phalangeal joints. So you have complete, high, mid, low. Distal, middle, proximal, and all of it. So again, you have the numbers beginning with 1 is the big toe. Okay, here's an example. Transmetatarsal amputation of foot at left big toe, 0, Y6, and 0, Z9. So these we all know, it's all the same. These we know, it's all the same. So left foot, left, partial first ray. So the only one that's you have to even think about is that last qualifier digit. Big toe is the first ray. It's partial because it's through the shaft of the metatarsal bone. So here's another example. Amputation of left fourth toe, metatarsal phalangeal joint bone. 0, Y6, W0, Z0. These are the same. These are the same. Fourth toe, left, we know that. Complete. Complete because it's through the metatarsal phalangeal bone. Okay. So that's all there is to it. Not all there is to it, but that's it. So I think what's most important is to make notes in your book. So at table 0x6, draw a picture of a hand and write in rays 1 through 5. For the hands, write in definitions of complete and partial. For fingers, write in definitions of complete, high, mid, and low. Now you're going to say, oh, I can't draw. Doesn't matter. Draw a picture of a hand, label which one is the thumb, and write in 1. And that way you can see which one. It does not have to be pretty. It just has to indicate what the rays are. At table Y06, draw a picture of your foot. And then the big toe, write in 1, and then go over to the pinky toe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write in the definition of complete and partial. For the toes, write in definition of complete, high, mid, and low. And that way, when you turn to that page, you got everything you need right there. You don't have to find it someplace else or look it up. It'll be right there. It'll be so much faster. You don't have to look stuff up. If you're taking a test or a certification exam, it'll be right there. You don't have to think about it. Okay, so that's the video. If you'd like a copy of these slides, send me a note with your email address and I will send you a PDF of the slides. Again, here are my books. They're available on Amazon and I will update for 2025 when I get the information. If you have comments or questions, here is my email. I am also on Facebook. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.